park naming ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some short speeches this morning before we unveil the sign. We've already had a few passers-by saying, "You've installed it the wrong way." No, we haven't. We've installed it this way for the ceremony, and rest assured it'll be turned outward next week, okay? So can I just, after the speech, I just want to remind you, you are supposed to be social distancing still at 1.5 metres between us, so if you can adhere to that, that would be wonderful. In commencing this ceremony, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land upon which we stand. Ladies and gentlemen, to commence our speeches today, please welcome His Worship Mayor of the City of Gold Coast, Councillor Tom Tate.
Morning everyone. It's an absolute honour to be here for the Allan Howard Park naming. I want to recognise first of all the Howard family and our council colleagues, Councillor Vorster. I can see around that you would know these words when I say a strong community is one of the greatest attributes a city can have. That's why today, I think the limit is about 50 due to COVID-19, and looking around, I can't count, but it's packed. In this respect, Neighbourhood Watch has long been a great initiative in helping the community safe and bringing people together. They were values that Allan Howard not only liked, but lived by his life. Like so many, Allan adopted the Gold Coast, moving to Robina from Lismore 2001. In 2007, he started a Neighbourhood Watch at Robina and was very active volunteer, serving on many communities roles, including newsletter editor. He was tireless in pulling together stories that kept people interested, and he is also a generous host, frequently serving supper for meetings. But he had a vision. It involved getting Neighbourhood Watch and making it much stronger. Allan brought together two groups, Robina Waters and Robina Woods, to create Broadbeach 24, of which he was chairman. With his eagerness to get other Neighbourhood Watch groups started, there were by then about 50 groups across the Gold Coast. Allan helped form the Gold Coast District Neighbourhood Watch in 2012, and he served as president for 3 years. He remained with the group, but then joined the City Safe Suburb Forum and served until 2019. He was a very proud recipient of a Meritorious Service Awards in 2017. I have to say that we all love volunteers because they are the glue that holds our community together. Allan was a shining example of this selflessness and willingness to serve others. He helped many of other organisations and causes during his life, and especially here on the Gold Coast. His example deserves recognition, and he should be remembered for his great example. I think immortalising his name on this park is truly a fitting way to honour his loving care for the community. Well done, Allan.
Councillor Herman Vorster to come forward and say a few words. Thank you, Councillor.
Good morning everyone, and I will attempt not to be a blubbering mess. I will attempt to be not a blubbering mess. Could I just thank each and every one of you for coming out today and doing justice to Allan's memory. And before I just share a few remarks, it'd be remiss of me not to acknowledge the wonderful Joyce Howard, who, if I can perversely use this phrase, was Allan's partner in crime. I could also acknowledge the Howard family and those who felt like family to Allan, I'm sure, by gathering around his dining room table to talk all things Neighbourhood Watch, all things RSL, and all things Robina Woods and Robina Waters. I'm sure we all had or have our own memories of Allan, For me, those memories are burnt into my head through Allan's very clever use of repetition. I don't think there was ever a meeting when Allan did not stand up in front of a room and quote, I think it was Edmund Burke, to say that the only thing required for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. He would always say that, time and time again, and you know what? Allan believed it. Allan was not prepared to sit idle if there was an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to contribute, and an opportunity to make his community better. He could not sit still. And when he was not serving his community, he was running. And he actually got me running on at least a couple of occasions. Allan did. And I just want to share this other story. It's not to do with Neighbourhood Watch, it's not to do with RSL, but it really talks to the wonderful character and community mindedness of Allan. I think it was our second Gold Coast Running Festival. We were running towards Robina Stadium down at Cheltenham Drive, and poor Allan had to put up with me, this lumbering, heaving, overweight mess behind him. He was a very athletic octogenarian. And anyway, there was a group of other runners. I think it was a mum's running group, and there were some kids running in front of him. And Allan, despite the tough slog of that last leg of the run, spent all of his energy, the balance of his energy, motivating the people in front of him, cheering them on so that they could get a better time and succeed. No matter how challenging the conditions, no matter what expense of his own time, Allan, in that moment, took the opportunity to exert himself just a little bit more so that some other people could do a little bit better than they would otherwise have. And that's really the story of Allan Howard. One of the perversions of the city's park naming policy is that parks are named posthumously. And I understand that, I appreciate it, and on balance it's good public policy. But it's also a little bit sad that those who have parks named after them don't get to enjoy this moment. Allan's not here to share it with us. And I don't want to talk out of school here, but there was a moment towards the end with Allan where I said to him that we'd get this done. So, Allan knew that we were going to do this for him. And I'm 100% confident that he appreciated the love of that gesture, and he's with us today feeling all of the love we have for the man and the legacy he will leave behind. Joyce, Howard family, you've left an indelible mark on this community. All of us gathered today have been touched by your contribution in so many different ways, and it gives me great satisfaction that any visitor to this area will see the Howard name, and I hope be prompted to learn more about this wonderful family and wonderful man that made Robina as good as it is. Thank you very much.
Brett Howard, Allan's eldest son, to say a few words on behalf of the family. Thanks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's terrific to see you here all today on another great, perfect Gold Coast day. My family would firstly like to extend a special thank you to His Worship, Mayor of the City of Gold Coast, Councillor Tom Tate, and Councillor Herman Borster for being here today for this dedication. Thank you very much to Faye for taking on the role of MC, and thank you to Olga and Celia for their help in arranging today's event. And finally, a very warm welcome to everyone else who has taken the time from their day to be with us on this wonderful occasion. On behalf of Allan's family, a sincere and heartfelt thank you to the City of Gold Coast for naming this brilliant park in Allan's honour. In particular, we would like to extend our considerable gratitude to Councillor Herman Borster, the person instrumental in ensuring Allan's achievements would not go unrecognised. Herman worked very closely alongside Allan on many Neighbourhood Watch projects. He is a person Dad held in the highest possible regard. Dad would have been proud to have had Herman as his fourth son. A big thank you to my mother, Joyce. An ardent and willing supporter of Allan and his community work. And thank you to many of you here today, the volunteers from both Neighbourhood Watch and the RSL, who, like Allan, have unselfishly given many hours of their time to make our community a better place. You are the givers. In my humble opinion, this is the best class of humanity. What would we do without you? And finally, thank you to Allan. If he could be here today, what would he say? I'm sure he would have some advice and inspiration for us all. Hopefully not too much advice, please, Allan. He always excelled at giving advice. But he would be humble. He would be proud. He would be happy. And not one to rest on his laurels. He would already be making future plans on what he could do to make the world a better place. We're also proud of Allan. Thank you to the City of Gold Coast Council for this legacy. We are lucky to have Allan's grandson Archie with us here today. I hope one day Archie has the opportunity to be here with his grandchildren, to tell them about his grandfather and how this park came to be named in his honour. And this talk is something which will endure for many generations of our family and your families. What a great and deserved honour for Allan. Good on you, Al. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.